Hello, welcome to my show. I'm Elena, your host, and joining us, Maria Kharchenko, English and Russian tutor, a songwriter, a singer, and an inspiring person. Hello, Maria.
Hello, Elena. I'm glad to be here. Thank you for having me today.
Maria, what didn't I tell about you?
Well, actually, there are many things in my life going on at the moment. So probably you've mentioned the most important things because I've been teaching English for around 20 years, believe it or not. Yes. But at the same time, all my life, I have been interested in psychology. So I have currently started giving sessions as a psychologist, and I have been doing studies in this area, not studying rather than studies. And, well, I've been personally interested in human psychology, human mind, life, and I think I'm just an empiric person who wants to taste life, to feel the taste of life in all its manifestations, I would say. And I've recently taken up dancing, for example. So in addition to singing now, I dance and I'm enjoying life. I'm the one who enjoys life. That will be true.
This is great. You know, for some reason, I had an idea that you have been teaching for 12 years, and actually it's 20, so I'm impressed. And I've been speaking English less than 8, so you can see this.
You have good chances to make good progress living in the US. So your 8 years could probably outweigh my 20 years of teaching.
Oh, thank you. However, today we are going to talk not about English and not about teaching. We are going to talk about meditation. Over the past several years, I have read a few books where authors recommended meditation, and I tried. It did not work out. I spoke to my friend, and she said, "Oh, maybe you need to download an app and listen to the music, and also focus your attention on your breathing, like breathing during the meditation." And I tried again. It didn't work out. My personal record was like 3 minutes. And I decided, okay.
And it was a torture, I'm guessing, but I think I'm right. Those 3 minutes seemed like an eternity.
Yes, and then I saw your Instagram post when you were talking about meditation, and I thought like, okay, this lady knows something about meditation that she probably would like to share with us.
Well, actually, that is bringing back some memories of my first experiences of meditation, which were a complete failure, like yours. And I just remember that situation when we were in a summer camp with my friend. We were 15, and she suggested doing meditation. We had no idea what it was, but I think at that time meditation was starting to gain popularity, and we were inspired by a girl who was sitting there in a meditation pose, and that was really cool to see her still and silent. And we tried, and I remember there were mosquitoes, and there was so much I don't know, outside noise. There was everything that would disturb me at that moment, and I realized it was a total no, and I just couldn't do it. However, a few years later, I found myself in a therapy group where I was invited as an interpreter. I had just graduated from university, and I had just started work at a language school, and they invited me to work as an interpreter for 5 days, and they explained it to me as a psychology group, something like that. I had no idea what it was going to be about. All I knew was that the group leader, the therapist, was from the US. Yeah, he was from the US. And I was just a young girl open to new experiences. And as I later found out, that was not just a psychology group, it was OSHA therapy camp. And we stayed in the countryside for 5 days. As an interpreter, I was allowed to also practice many of the things they were doing. And that is when my encounter actually happened, when I realized that there was more to us as human beings than our bodies. And that was a mind-turning experience, mind-blowing, mind-turning.
So it was like right time, right place, and you were ready to observe all of this information, and you got into
It
it.
was, yeah, I don't believe in any coincidences or accidental things in life.
Mhm.
You know, at that moment, it looked like accidental thing. Like, yes, I was free. My studies were over.
Mhm.
I could join that camp. I didn't have a family or any obligations or commitments, so it was really easy for me to just go away for 5 days. And maybe, yeah, it was the right time. Now looking back, I understand that it was kind of planned, but at that moment it seemed like, wow, out of the blue. And we were doing some practices that included meditating. However, it is not the way you people normally imagine what meditation is, because it's very popular. The idea of meditation and meditating has become super popular nowadays.
Yes.
However, many people don't really understand what it is all about.
Exactly. What's going on with me? It's like I'm sitting and waiting for something like
Yeah, and that is very hard for the modern person to do. I will explain a little bit
yes,
about it if you don't mind. So,
yes.
firstly, the word meditation itself is not perfect to describe that thing, because, well, when I use it in Russian, in my native language, it sounds different from any other words. In English, this word is derived from the verb to meditate,
Mhm.
which is very close to just think or think over. So many people believe that meditation is somehow connected with thinking, or thinking positively, or thinking about something, so that it's somehow an effort or an activity, because to meditate, to think, is to be active. Yeah.
Hold on a moment. My friend told me that when I meditate, I should not think at all. So that's why she told me think about your breathing, but not about different thoughts.
And that's also thinking. When you think about your breathing, you do think. I would say that there is a trick how you can redirect your attention, how you can change your focus, and that's a skill to learn, and that is what people can do. It can require different periods of time depending on the person, but I believe it's something all of us have experienced at least a few times in our lives. We just weren't aware that it was meditation, that we were in that meditative state of mind.
Okay.
So what? Mhm.
So my question is, can meditation help when I'm emotionally tired, or can my emotionally tiredness help me to get into this meditation mood? Or because
Okay, let me
like
just add a few words about meditation itself, and then I will
okay,
comment on your emotional state and the
because you were
connection.
mentioning that sometimes people get into this mood, but they don't know that it
Yes,
is
it's that meditation mode,
mode.
and it is something that you may feel when you see something absolutely beautiful,
Mhm.
and that moment when you feel like the time has stopped. And we have all experienced something like this. When you, I don't know, when I first came to the Himalaya mountains, and I remember I opened my eyes and I saw the beauty and the grandeur of those mountains. And that was a complete stop. There were no thoughts, and I was crying, but they were
Okay.
tears of joy and something. So when I say we all have this experience, it
Mhm.
means that meditation is our nature. It's not
Ah,
something we have to bring or add to
okay.
our reality. It is something we have to uncover or rediscover in ourselves.
Mhm.
And because we modern humans spend most of our time stuck in our head, in our mind, in thinking process. And it's really hard when you're just sitting in front of your computer all day to just stop thinking what you have been thinking and just stop thinking. I mean, it sounds simple, but it's one of the hardest things to do.
Yes.
That is why that Indian mystic Osho, who I was I don't know, I could call it sect without a negative maybe connotation,
Okay.
but well, I was part of that community for a few years. I'm not now, but I'm really grateful for the experience I got from those years. And he developed the so-called modern meditations, and they help a modern person to get into that state more easily. Because if you just try to sit still nowadays, it's a torture, it's impossible. The problem is that we are stuck in our heads and we don't feel the connection with our body. However, our body is the best way to feel the energy of life, because intellectual energy and physical energy, they're slightly different. So many people live around without feeling their bodies, like they don't really know if they have a pain in their knee or something, unless it becomes too strong. I hope you know what I mean. So our first task before we can get into the meditative state is to redirect our energy and to spread it around a little bit, because we are stuck in our thoughts. The thought mixer never stops. You should just accept that. But you can start doing some physical activity, and it's absolutely up to you what you will choose to do. It can be running, it can be dancing, but not dancing like a crippled person, but you dance totally. You dance like, well, it's the last dance in your life. And that's what we did. There were different techniques, like shaking your body, shaking for half hour.
Oh my God.
It's not, yes. And or turning, there is Sufi technique where people keeps swirling, turning, and after that turning you fall into that state. So there are many ways to do it, and some of them are really ancient ones. What I do now, because I'm also into fitness and healthy lifestyle and everything, I like running. So I just go running, and it takes me about half hour to run to the point where there is a small pond with some ducks, and it's a really nice area. So when I get there, I just stop, sit down under a tree. And when your body is tired because you have moved it, and it depends. I mean, you may choose dancing, someone else may choose some other. It must be very strong physical activity, something that really brings energy into your body. And when your body got activated, I could say, it's a lot easier to relax it, because when you are stiff, your body is just like tense. You need massage at least. You can't meditate in that condition. It's impossible. But after running half an hour or dancing for 15 minutes, but totally half hour will be better, but it will do the job. So when you dance like crazy, your mind relaxes and your energy goes more into your body. So if you can do that, it can also be singing, like chanting some sounds can help. And after that, when you sit down, you will find it very easy to just sit still because you're tired. And then you just start watching. And it doesn't mean that you've got to watch your breathing only. Yes, breathing is very easy, but you can just put a hand if it helps you. Sometimes you can put a hand on your heart. You don't have to sit in an uncomfortable position. That's also very important. Many people think I've got to sit like a yogi with legs crossed. It's not. It doesn't matter. I mean, first time I fell into meditation, I think I was standing up or maybe lying down. I don't know how it happened, but it has happened many times when I was walking, when I was sitting, when I was standing up or lying down. So if you find cross-legged position uncomfortable, don't do it. You don't have to, really. It's not the trick. I mean, to get the taste of meditation, you don't need it. It might be needed at higher levels when you are good at it and you want to go deeper and higher, elevate your consciousness, blah blah blah, all this stuff. But when you're just at the start, just don't worry about you must be comfortable. Just don't lie down immediately. I would recommend to you just physical activity, totally active for at least quarter of an hour. I would suggest half an hour, but well, we all have our time limits. And then you just sit down in a comfortable position and don't choose a place where you normally sleep because you will fall asleep immediately. Find a place where you feel comfortable and just sit down, eyes closed. If thoughts come, don't fight the thoughts, because the thoughts will come. It's normal. We have this tool and it performs its function really well. So we must be grateful. But when you have a thought, the recommendation is don't think the thought. I mean, don't get involved too much into this thought. Let it just, like a cloud in the sky, pass by, and you just reflect on it. You say, oh, I'm thinking about that. That's interesting. I'm trying to meditate. And then this thought comes. Wow, that's interesting. Cool.
Okay, so it's kind of like I need to process a little bit longer everything what you said, and I will do it later. But still, what you said about sit, like when you are exhausted physically, sit and you just like, I don't know, feel your body. That's what I was thinking about when I'm emotionally tired. When I sit in my chair, it's like, okay, that's it, I'm home. And it's like, so it would not work with emotional tiredness. What do you mean?
I'm trying to remember when I was emotionally tired last time. I mean,
but aren't you tired after your whole day, like talking and practicing and speaking to people and giving
my mind
lessons?
is mostly fresh. I don't know how it works. Like yesterday, I had 9 lessons. It's crazy. It's really a lot. After that, I had a dance class and I went to a salsa party.
Yeah, you know, the dance class and salsa party helped. I think this is what helped you.
That's why I can't live without physical activity. I mean, it's like, well, one of my basic needs. Everyone's probably, but we are not aware, not all of us. So with emotional tiredness, let me just try and answer your question still. So I still have a feeling that when you're emotionally tired, exhausted, and that's often a case with people who come from work and they can't do anything, they have no energy to do whatever. And that is a modern life syndrome, when people have no energy for their own life when they have completed the daily work, and they get emotionally exhausted. So I would still recommend starting with your body.
Yes.
Well, because this tiredness has no connection with your body tiredness. So when you feel tired in that way, it just means that you have no energy. And my observation of life, my experience is that the energy source is never ending. I mean, energy is available to you all the time. It's just your capacity to contain, to process, to accept that energy, but it's available to you. It's waiting for you all around. I mean, it's everywhere around you, and it's just your
resource
choice
of energy.
It's your unconscious choice to get blocked off. And when you feel your energy is low, it means that you have disconnected from that source of life energy, and physical activity is a good way to get reconnected.
Okay, got it. I have probably crazy questions, but this is exactly what bothers me right now. And somehow I think that meditation is the way that can help me. That's why I'm interested in that also. My next question about learning a foreign language. I know I need to polish my English, but right now I'm interested in Portuguese. Don't ask why, it's going to be a long answer. And I started. I dropped 2 times, but I still want to do that. And if I start meditation, maybe it would bring some sort of I don't know, some sort of order in my brain that later on I will proceed to the learning the language. What do you think?
Yeah. I think that if you start meditation and if you include it into your daily routine, it will help you in each and every area of your life. And foreign languages is a very small area where it could come helpful. So my feeling is when you do it, it's like giving yourself some time to process all the emotions and thoughts and all the chaos that you get involved into throughout your daily life, because we never give ourselves proper rest. When we think we rest or when we think we relax, we actually get involved into more and more activities. So when we don't find the time to stop just for 10 minutes a day, then you become overwhelmed. And this leads to false goals, to setting goals that have nothing to do with your true desires and true needs. And every meeting with your inner being, with your soul, if you wish, brings you closer to what you really need. And then, firstly, you will not set goals. You're less likely to set goals. I can't say you will not. You're less likely to set goals that are not suitable
goals,
or that are not yours. Yeah, in that way. And they will help you focus on how to achieve the goals that you truly want to achieve.
So you mentioned to meditate every day. You do it every day?
Well, I try to find time that I really spend on meditation, but I think to me it has become a certain practice that is interwoven into my daily routine. Like I can be in meditation when I cook food. I can be in meditation when I just walk. It's when you learn it, it's easy. You just walk and you unfocus your mind, and it's just the activity that is there, but it's kind of you are not there in that activity. I don't know how to explain that.
So it means
words.
It means when I take my dog for a walk, it is not good time to meditate at the same time.
It is everything. There is a good parable about meditation. 2 men came to a master and they asked seemingly the same question. So one asked, "Can I meditate when I smoke?" And the other asked, "Can I smoke when I meditate?" And they got 2 different answers. So the first one asked, "Can I meditate when I smoke?" The answer was yes, of course. You can meditate no matter what you're doing. I mean, it's part of your life. It can be in every action of your life. And the other asked, can I smoke when I meditate? Which means he was going to interrupt his meditation by another activity. And the answer was no. Don't do it when you meditate. So that's kind of a tricky thing. So you get the taste and you remember. It's my experience. You remember that it has always been there, but it's been covered with lots of emotional stuff, thoughts, whatnot, and you just get into that abyss and find something really sweet and nice.
Okay, so we don't have too many time left, but the question, so you meditate anytime when it's available to you, yes, to your mode.
Yeah.
And another question, just very quick, why do you do that?
Okay. Well,
Just
first
like
of all, I work with people, and
Mhm.
it is my personal experience that when you work with people, and the way I choose my teachers for
Mhm.
whatever subject or activity, the personality is really important to me. And I know that when I teach people whatever, English or Russian, and moreover now I work as a psychologist, so my personal cleanliness or the cleanliness of my mind
Mhm.
becomes really important, because when people come and learn from me, this interaction happens at different levels, and what you can observe in physical reality, like we exchange some words and we do something like talking and learning rules, it's only a part of this interaction. And I know that my energy is also part of this process, and it can affect this process both negatively and positively.
Yes. So it's like
So
a recharge.
hygiene, it's a way to recharge, because without meditation I wouldn't be able to have 9 lessons a day without really getting tired. I mean, yes, I do get tired, I'm a human, but it's not that I exhausted like I used to be a few years ago. And it's like hygiene, you just brush your teeth and you also
Mhm.
clean your mind. It's also a matter of respect to others, because if you don't clean your mind, you begin to stink.
Yes.
In a way,
All right.
energetically, emotionally. I don't want to stink. That's why I
Mhm.
meditate.
Yeah, that's why I'm kind of interested in it, because it seems to me sometimes I need something like that also after my day at work and something. And I thought I tried and it did not work out. Just I did not know how to do that.
And you can
Oh,
ask me, whenever you want to. Yeah,
mhm.
you can ask me some more questions. I'm open to discuss it. And if I can be of any help, just I'm here.
Okay, thank you very much. It was really interesting because it what bothered me, and probably someone else has the same problems. Okay, Maria, our time is up, and I just want to say thank you very much for that conversation, and special thanks for accepting my invitation. I really appreciate your time.
Thank you very much. It's a pleasure, and it's an honor for me as well.
That was Elena. Thank you for watching.